Hey guys, it's Kim from editing. It's dark out and I'm using a light. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to hop on here and say that the audio in the first 5 minutes of this video is awful. I know it's awful. I want to throw the whole video away. But I think that it's got some useful information even still. So just bear with me for the first few minutes of terrible audio. I promise it gets better. I was inside of a store and forgot to turn my microphone on. Oopsie. But all of that to say, I'm very sorry. I'm aware of it. Don't yell at me. Please watch it anyway. Thank you guys, and I'll see ya on the other side. We're gonna sneaky film inside of this Amish store because they frown upon cameras. Okay. But I wanted to tell you what I broke by because there's weird stuff happening in the world right now. And you don't have to freak out about it. Don't go buy toilet paper out the wazoo. I'm pretty sure all of us have a laundry basket full of mismatched socks that if that really comes to blow, the socks are the first thing to go. Grains are something all of us need in our arsenal. You need to learn how to cook from scratch. It's going to save you. If you don't have a grain mill, if you want a grain mill, use my code HoneyTrail10 for $20 off. But if you don't have one, obviously you are going to want to buy pre-ground flour. Beans. Everybody needs a big bag of beans in their storage because you get your fiber, you get your protein, it stores indefinitely in this. All you have to do is soak it overnight and cook it. And you can have a full meal, which is rice and beans. I know it's not that exciting, but hey, if we're talking about survival food, that's it. And while we're at it, rice. But I'm gonna go buy a big boy bag with more in it. But if you didn't have anywhere to store it, you could buy smaller bags like this. Or if you don't have big girl muscles like me and can't pick up a 50-pound bag, you could get smaller 5-pound bags. I'm getting this big bag of organic rolled oats because you can make a lot of recipes with this, cookies included, but you really want to make sure your grains are organic. Spend the few extra dollars that it takes because grains are one of the most sprayed items in the grocery store. FYI. Not only do you want to hoard some of these products that you want for later, but you need to hoard your skin. I'm really talking about thriving, not just surviving. You have to learn how to make your own bread. Bypass the little packets. You're going to use them in like 4 loaves of bread. Get one of these big compressed. I make all my family's bread and this will last me like 6 months of heavy baking. So this much yeast will last you quite a long time. Once you open it, just put it in your freezer and then pull it out when you need it. Here I am by the bulk grains. This is where I shop normally. I buy my grains in 50-pound bags or 25 sometimes. But I'm actually out of my wheat berries right now, so I need these anyway.
How about I get it?
Obviously, I don't need a whole lot of this stuff because we raise so much of our own meat. But if you were looking for shelf-stable items to have in your arsenal, I know it sounds gross, but sardines. For one, it has a very long shelf life. For two, these are young fish, so they don't have the mercury levels and all the bad things in them that other canned fishes do, like tuna and salmon and all of those things. These are probably the healthiest potted meat that you can get. And my husband and my son love these. And they eat them plain all the time. And if I had to, I would too. But I can't get over the way these smell like cat food, so... but it's a really good meat to have in your pantry. What we really all need in our stockpiles are seeds, and they're 50% off. So I'm gonna be getting some of these, even though I have some of these. So I've already spoken to you guys about what I would buy from the store. Well, kind of. That was just kind of a normal shopping trip for me because I was out of my bulk supplies at a very bad time. Because I'm not sure if you're aware on what's going on in the world, but all of our systems are very volatile. Now more than ever, we rely on so much energy. So much of our world is digitalized. Everything is on the internet. What happens if the internet... I'm trying to film a video. What happens if the internet goes down? How are you going to get your money out of the bank? How are you going to pay at the store? How are you going to put gas in your car? Very real things are happening in the world right now. The ports are currently on strike. So while the stores have plenty of groceries now, I'm not sure what it's going to look like in a month if the strike keeps going. But what I do know is that my everyday life probably isn't going to look that much different, and I've just kind of set it up that way over the years. Obviously, not everyone can grow all of their own food and raise all their own meat and all of these things, but you can find someone close to you who is and buy from them, because then your supply chain is about this big and you're not relying on a ship that's coming from Brazil or Europe or wherever the ship is coming from that is sitting in the harbor not being unloaded. Hey, I was getting ready to tell you guys that my food storage is, right in the ground. I grew a fall round of potatoes this year, and my puppy Mo just dug one up for me. Thanks, Mo. So by creating some of your own resiliency, you don't have to you don't have to panic if a boat isn't coming in to the dock. I can live without bananas. I can live even without toilet paper. So all of those people that are panic buying paper products like toilet paper and paper towels, I'm sure all of you have old stained t-shirts. I'm sure all of you have a bucket of water. Let's just, wash ourselves. Let's not panic. I mean, you can have a fair amount, an average amount of resiliency, or you can have 2 dairy cows and your own beef and your own chicken and turkeys and ducks, and you can hunt for food too. But what I will tell you, that while this lifestyle is very trying at times, it's not for the faint of heart. It's not light, easy work. It's work every day, on Easter, on Christmas, on birthdays. But all that sweat equity that we put in is totally worth the peace that I have now in this time of panic, in this time of uncertainty, in these trying times that we're in right now. I know that it's not going to be that different for us because we have systems that are in place. The thing that I worry about the most is getting, grain for the animals. But honestly, all of our grain we buy locally, and the mill buys it from local growers. And so that's like one more rung up on the resiliency ladder. Another layer of resiliency, obviously, you don't have to have apple butter. But if the world did shut down, wouldn't that be a fun addition to a biscuit or a piece of toast? Or I make these really good homemade granola bars that aren't really granola bars, but I tell my kids that's what they are. Just having food in your house. For me, food in my house that I know where it came from and I grew it is even better, but it doesn't have to be that way. But just making it part of your regular life really lends itself handy in times of panic where you might go to a store and see an empty store shelf. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, instead of rushing to the store, when a storm comes, all of us Midwesterners, you run to the store and you get your bread, milk, and eggs. It's way more fun when that winter storm is coming and you grow your own bread, milk, and eggs. But even if you don't grow your own, there are plenty of opportunities to support people who do, first of all. So obviously we grow all of our meat, but you could easily find a farmer in your area and buy half a beef at a time, buy a whole hog at a time. Ask when their next round of birds are going in and buy a dozen chickens off of them. Because while you're paying more up front, and I understand that budgeting needs to occur, but if you're rolling around in a car newer than 2010, if you have a new iPhone, if you have new shoes on your feet that you went to a store and bought and not at the thrift store secondhand, I hate to break it to you, but you have the money. If your kids are in 10 different sports, if you're buying ultra processed food at the store, you have the money. But we have got to start prioritizing what is actually important. And stuff isn't important. A roof over your head, a warm or cool house, food in your pantry, and the skills to use the food, because it's actually just ingredients for you to make the food. So all of us can together just create a more resilient system. The system that we're currently in wants us to be reliant on everybody but ourselves. But if you just start taking responsibility for you and not relying on anyone else to provide it for you, it feels good. Also, go to your local Dollar General. They have seeds 50% off. Usually this is the brand that is at the DG, which I'm not complaining. These seeds do sprout. They do grow just fine. But they had burpee seeds. I don't have this pepper. They had Brad's Atomic Grape seeds there. Had to get those. You know I couldn't pass up a couple tomatoes that I don't have. Which I think I do have a Brad's Atomic Grape, but I'm not sure. If I have it, I'll gift it. But that was fun. So on top of regular things that everyone should have in their pantry anyway, things that I would also stock up on are batteries, Band-Aids, rubbing alcohol, things to like clean a wound, things to dress a wound, water purification, a way to capture some rainwater, free water. We heat with wood, so luckily that's no problem, but we're going to be rolling into the winter time, so a way to heat your house, like if the power went out or something, would be one thing that I would look into. Just basic human necessities. Don't go out there and stockpile toilet paper and paper towel and chips and Pepsi and all of these things that don't really matter, because when it boils down, all that matters is you have good food to eat, you have a warm place to sleep, and you have your family. Everything else will come out in the wash. But if you have any ideas of what you would have, on hand if you needed it, leave it down in the comments, because I love to see what other people have in their stores, like what they think is important. It might give me an idea on, oh yeah, I forgot that. I thought that was important too. So moral of the story is, when you're feeling out of control, I hate that feeling. It makes me worry, it makes me panic, it makes my mind race. In reality, is there anything that we can do personally about the docks being closed? No. Is there anything we can do about a natural disaster weather system? No. Is there anything we can do about the upcoming presidential election? No. What we can do, you can learn how to bake. You can learn how to cook from scratch. You can learn how to dress a chicken. You can learn how to sew. You can learn how to crochet. You can learn how to entertain yourself. You can read books. That's what you can do. Because if we all just collectively get a little bit more resilient, get a little thicker skin, get a little more skills, as a group, who's going to take us down? Nobody. But I'm going to get my groceries put away and get this video edited and try to get it up to you guys. We're also pushing 7 o'clock and I still have to can this apple butter that I made earlier. Dang it. I was just at the store and I forgot to buy lids. Don't you hate that? Anyway, thank you guys for watching.
Until next time.